Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Siobhan, and in this pick a card style reading, we're going to be looking at what you still have time for. So this was a topic that was inspired by Spirit, as a lot of the readings are, and they channeled this to me. They said you're going to do a reading that says there's still time, and you're going to look at these particular images, and we're going to help you get the message for the people who are drawn to this reading to help them understand the timing of the events that are going on in your life, the divine timing involved, and that you have not lost the opportunity for whatever this thing happens to be. So we've got three options, as you can see here on the screen. We've got group number one with the little white dog. I don't know, is that a terrier? If you guys know what kind of breed that dog that is, let me know in the comments below. Group number two is the tic-tac-toe with the hearts, and group number three is the white horse galloping off into the right side of the screen. So select the image or images that feel like they are calling to you. Use your intuition to take the messages within the readings that feel like they are for you, and leave what does not resonate. And we will see you there. All right, hello, group number one. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose the white dog. And this one was an interesting symbol that Spirit had me choose. So I'm curious to find out what this is referring to in terms of there's still time. So I'm just going to psychically connect before we pull any cards, and I'll get some initial messages to see what the dog may represent for you. Okay, so what they're actually showing me is that little white dog that you guys chose, and it's kind of like running around in circles. It's all excited, and it feels like it's moving at 1,000,000 miles a minute. Like, little dogs have so much energy, and they run around, and it's almost like they're on hyperspeed. And technically speaking, different animals of different sizes do actually experience time differently. Yeah, let that sink in. It's so cool to understand that, like cats and dogs and birds and humans and insects even all experience time in different ways. So to a dog, humans might look like we're going in slow motion, whereas to a larger animal, humans might look like they're going a little bit faster than we actually are. So the like warping of time perception is kind of what they're drawing me to here, and that's what they're showing me. And if you're curious about that, I definitely, it's worth a Google search and watching some videos on that topic, because it's fascinating. So anyway, let's get some cards for you guys and find out what this is about. They're gonna actually start me off with the tarot here. Start us off, I should say, with the tarot. So for group number one, who chose the little white dog. It also is reminding me of Toto from The Wizard of Oz. We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Okay, so what is this? 10 of Wands. Interesting. Okay, so the 10 of Wands is something heavy that may be kind of holding you back or weighing you down. It's also like a sense of responsibility. Carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders is what it feels like. And they just showed me the Wicked Witch of the West, or what was it? The Wicked Witch of the South or something, getting crushed underneath the house. Yeah, it's like being crushed under the weight of something. I just looked up and the time was 222. Crushed under the weight of something, but there's like divine timing at play. Wow, the candle just went out. It's like this is like snuffing out your flame. Maybe it's sapping your energy. It's like that little dog. You have all this energy, but all of a sudden it's like there's something heavy and it's pulling on your energy. So let me just like replace that candle real quick. All right, there, that's better. So group one, what is this that is weighing on you, that's kind of sapping your energy or taking your light away? What is it? What is this? The World card. The good news that I'm seeing already, group one, is that you've got a 10 and the final card in the major arcana. So these are both endings. Okay, so there's something here that is coming to a point of completion, culmination, or an ending of a cycle. So I think that's actually a good thing. I mean, just like we saw with the candle going out, it's like it's the end of that candle and it's time for a fresh new one, so that you have more burn time, so that you have more energy, more clarity, more focus, and more time, right? Like that's literally what this timing reading is about. It's like there's still time. Even if something needs to get kind of released, if something needs to be let go of or changed over. I think that this is kind of what Spirit is already trying to say, but let's get more information. Ooh, Three of Swords. Maybe that's what's weighing on you, group number one. Is there something painful? It's like they're showing me the tornado again from the Wizard of Oz. It's like there's something painful that you've been having to contend with that felt like it was crushing you under the weight of it. Maybe it's emotional pain that you've been dealing with, or you've been, I just heard the phrase overthinking something. Have you been overthinking something, group number one? Maybe like that terrier chasing its own tail, because they were showing me the dog running in circles like that. And the world is a circle. The 10 is like the ending of that cycle. You've gone full circle on something here. Okay. Queen of Cups. This is a highly emotional thing that we're talking about here, group one. And that emotional burden has been heavy. But there's still time to heal it. There's still time to release it and let it go. The ending of this cycle is happening for you, not to you. And it's going to help you to release some of that burden and to replenish your energy. That's really what I feel here. Nine of Swords. Yeah, there's a lot of stress that you've been dealing with. You've probably been under the gun on something here, group number one. And you may have had to like perform to a degree, like do a lot really quickly. And that may have stressed you out emotionally. I'm feeling like overthinking, like your mind running in circles, or over productivity with your workload, your stress load, trying to make up for lost time. I just got that message as well, trying to make up for lost time. Maybe you feel like you're behind on something or behind in life. But they're saying you're not. This reading is literally, there's still time. So there is still time here. Wheel of Fortune, talking about time. Oh my God, the Wheel of Fortune is cycles of time. You got the World card, which is the ending of that cycle. So you have a really good opportunity here, group one, to be able to release something from the past, or something that you've been working on or working with or dealing with that has been heavy for you. And this Wheel of Fortune is the opportunity to do it. There is more than enough time, is what Spirit just said, more than enough time. So if you feel like you've been cut off from the results or from yourself, or you've been feeling like you're running out of time, or that things are really pressing on you and becoming super heavy, Spirit is here has drawn you to this reading today to let you know that first of all, there is more than enough time. And second of all, that you are needing a break. You need like a little bit of a respite is kind of what it feels like, group number one. Maybe this is a little bit more play because some of these tasks have been weighing really heavy on you, or you've just been dealing with a lot of like emotional stress, mental stress. And I feel like you deserve a stroke of good luck. That's really what I want to say, group number one. You deserve a stroke of good luck. So since you guys chose the little animal there, the dog, the terrier, I feel like I want to use these Cosmic Creatures decks. Oh, look at that, balanced right on my hand. Whoops. The Scorpion. Okay, they just said in my head, the scorpion's sting has healing within. The scorpion's sting has healing within. Okay. Okay, they told me to move to a different deck. That was the one we needed from that deck. We're going to go into this one now. Oops. What is this? The scorpion sting has healing within. Those three. Read the energy. Ascended Master Merlin and Mystic Merlinite. Read the energy. Yeah, I feel like something about the energy here has been off. But there's some kind of healing that's like in it. It's embedded inside it is what it feels like. And it might feel like a fault. They're showing me like clouds and diamonds. What are those called? Occlusions. There may be some kind of an occlusion in your mind or in your heart that you've been having to deal with, and you may have felt like this was a flaw within you, a flaw in the system, a flaw in this cycle. But it's like there's healing in the venom. That's what they keep saying. So there's something in that flaw that is actually helping you to heal. Or maybe it's through healing that and the approach to that that gives you this release of the burden and closes the cycle. Let's get more information. Relief and repair. Yeah, it is going to help you to relieve the burden so you can repair your heart. Ascended Master Mataji and Crimson Cuprite. Both of these are also Crystal Master number 333. And Grace for the Grand Gesture, Archangel Raphael and Malachite. This is very much centered around the heart chakra with the Queen of Cups and the Three of Swords here, and then Malachite, which is super, super healing for the heart. Do I have my... I have some Malachite somewhere. I can't remember where I put it. It's probably up in my crystal corner there. But this is heart chakra healing for you, and this is a cycle of time. This is like they just gave me the phrase life cycle, the words life cycle. So there's something about this that was embedded in like this life cycle. But this is some serious level transmutation work, group number 1. Okay, I feel this deck calling next. The Wheel. These cards have the same energy, 2 different decks, 1 tarot, 1 oracle, but they have the same meaning, endings and beginnings. And the wheel, it's like the Wheel of Fortune, but we were seeing that here with the endings, right? It's like the culmination point of the wheel, of the world, the 10 of Wands, and you also have Wheel of Fortune, which is a 10, 9 of Swords, which is the sort of closing out of the cycle. So 9 is the ending, and then 10 is like the final point. So you've got, this is about endings and beginnings in your life. It's life cycles, things that are going on energetically for you. And they want you to read that energy because there's something in this that feels fated. There's something in this that is releasing you. It's meant to release you. It's meant to release you so you can repair. I do feel that card and that one as well. The moon, cycles and change. Okay, so the time that I'm filming this is actually the day before the full moon in Leo. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you happen to find this, the message is for you. But the moon cycles are obviously important here, especially as it relates to endings and beginnings. And the emotional body is ruled by the moon in the astrology. So this is all making sense. Okay, what is this? Sadness, female, old woman. Sadness, female, with the old woman card. This is really interesting. I'm getting like past life energy from this with the Wheel of Fortune, the World card, the occlusion in the diamond. Yes, this feels like past life, group number 1. Now I'm wondering why the terrier, why the dog? They're taking me back to the Wizard of Oz again and the witch being crushed under the house. Okay. So the way that spirit communicates is very, very highly symbolic. Like everything is symbolism. Most of it is metaphor. And what they're showing me is like in this past life that we're referring to here, group number 1, you were a female, whether you're a female now or a male now, doesn't matter because we switch genders from life to life, depending on how it will serve the evolution of the soul. You were a female in that lifetime. You were an older woman and you were crushed under the stress of some kind of a loss. I'm seeing that it was keeping you up at night. You lost someone or something in a very painful way. It felt like it was ripped out of your hands and you were left to pick up the pieces. You were left to carry the family forward. You were left to shoulder the burden all on your own. I'm getting like matriarch energy, like you were the leader of the house. Maybe it was the death of the husband. Maybe it was the death of a child. It was the death of someone or something. I don't know why I'm getting that energy. It's just, that's what's coming up. It could have been something else, but it was like something heavy, emotionally painful, very painful, that caused you to really have to face a lot of these challenges head on and to really, like I said, take on that burden. But I feel like now in this lifetime, you're realizing that there's always going to be time to heal, that you don't necessarily have to carry this with you anymore, and that you certainly don't have to keep repeating the cycle. Trust. I think this is you learning to relax so you can open up and trust again, because whatever happened in that previous lifetime doesn't need to happen again, is what they just told me. It doesn't need to happen again. So you need to trust that that pain is not going to repeat itself. Like if you lost a child in a previous life, you can heal from that. And in this particular cycle, in this particular incarnation, you don't have to go through that again. It's like God is giving you the grace, Spirit is giving you the grace to be able to heal your heart once and for all. I mean, it's always going to be in some varying state of processing some emotion or other, but in its inherent structure, it can be stronger. Those occlusions, I just heard malocclusions. I think malocclusion refers to something else. Is that something with the eyes, malocclusion? Like not being able to see, something about, they just said optic nerve. Yeah, there's something about optic nerve malocclusion, like not being able to see clearly because the energy in the heart and in the mind was heavy. But there's trust here that's coming back to you, that it's not too late to try again. It's not too late to let these things go. It's not too late to heal. It's literally never too late to heal. They said you will always be given a second chance if you wish to take it. So there's something really quite profound here, group number 1, in the healing of this sadness and stress from the past. You're closing out a pretty significant multi-lifetime cycle. By reading this energy, you're going to find the relief and repair to have this grace really help your heart to heal and recover so you can trust again, and so that scorpion sting is not going to be feared as like some kind of fated repeating of the same pattern. Like, no, you don't have to go through that again. Tulip, you are worth what it is you desire. I think this is also you trusting that you can have what you want, what is going to fulfill you, is what they just said. You can have what is going to fulfill you. And I think this is part of this cycle. Maybe it has nothing to do with like the actual story of what happened in that past life, but the energy carried over in terms of you not trusting that you can have something that you love, and always fearing that it's going to be either taken away from you, or overthinking the situation, or fearing the loss. And this relief and repair that's coming through trust and addressing this occlusion is helping you to see more clearly, so that you can understand that you are worth what it is you desire, so that you can heal this sadness and embrace these cycles of change because they are allowing you to evolve. Yeah. So group number 1, I feel like I want to give you something, but I'm not sure what. I feel like I want to give you things. I don't know. Let me ask Spirit what they want to give you. Oh, look at that on the bottom of the deck. The future is sometimes lost in the wanderings of yesterday, with the lilac. That's what I mean. It's like the future was kind of tied up in your past, because that cycle kind of kept repeating. That's what karma does. Until we bring it into our awareness, until we heal it, it continues to sort of repeat itself. It just keeps that momentum going until we put our foot down and say no more. And I think you putting your foot down here is recognizing that you can end that cycle, toss out the old thing, and light a new candle, right? Start a new life. It's never too late to start again. It's never too late to try again. It's never too late to heal. They keep repeating that. And they're taking me back to that. Let me just put this down. They're taking me back to that initial thing that they were giving me about the dog, in regard to like animals experiencing time in different ways. So, you know, when we see a fly and it only lives for a couple of weeks, we're like, oh, it's an insignificant amount of time. Like, that's so short in comparison to our, you know, on average 80 to 90 years. But for a fly, because they experience time in a different way, that 2 weeks is an entire lifetime. That is like 100 years to them. So there's something about that here as well. It's like time perception, altering time perception. And I think that having a perception or like the perspective of your soul looking down at these different lifetimes, each lifetime feels like an eternity. But when you're in the soul realm and you look at these incarnations and you kind of stack them up back to back and you're in the outside of time moment, you're like, oh, that was actually really short. That was the blink of an eye. It felt like forever that I was in that suffering, but now that I'm out of it, it was really, really short in the grand scheme of things. And I think having even just this perspective or awareness is what I meant to give you, group number one, because it can help you to understand the natural cycles of life, the natural cycles of karma, soul's evolution, and how you go through these different incarnational times and timelines. Doing this, I just heard quantum level healing. So there's probably some past life healing for you to explore here, group number one. And I think this reading is just meant to tip you off to that. If you already have some indication of what this might be, I would encourage you to really open up to yourself about this, especially emotionally, and let this come through so that you can really fully understand, integrate what needs to be understood, and like let it go so you can move forward. And if you have no awareness of what this is, I would encourage you to do some freehand journaling or to meditate on it, or maybe set the intention even before you go to sleep so you can get some information from your dream realm. Just make sure you get up and write it down right away. And if you really don't feel confident in yourself at this time and you don't have that prerequisite trust built up to be able to identify this, then of course you can always turn to a reader who you trust and who you resonate with to get the information from that past life. I would recommend Soul Realignment as a wonderful tool. I don't provide those readings on a client-to-client basis anymore, but I know that there's a lot of great Soul Realignment practitioners out there who can help you to address some of these past life Akashic wounds in the soul blueprint, and then do that healing. And there's a profound level of healing and repair and a new cycle that is going to really be born from this, the addressing of this wound. Okay, so the takeaway here, group one, is that you're in divine alignment. I keep looking up at the time, and every time I do, it's some angel number. Like it was just 2222 on the recording time right there. Earlier on, I think did I mention it was twos earlier? You've got the 333s here too. I saw 211 as well. So these are all activation codes for you to understand that this is all in divine alignment. You're not behind schedule. You're right on time. It's never too late. And you are worth doing this healing and repair. And you don't need to carry this burden. You can let it go so that you can move forward into a cycle that's going to be a lot more harmonious and peaceful, where you can see more clearly. Your energy field is going to be a lot clearer, and you're going to feel stronger in yourself. But it's kind of like you got to suck out the venom. Malachite is like an intense heart chakra healing crystal, and it does suck out the venom. So it's like there's something in the venom itself that has healing qualities to it, but I think it's in the removal of that pain from the past that's really going to be the benefit here. Okay, so that is what I have for you today. Group number one, quite an intense reading. Was not expecting that from that cute little terrier, but hey, Spirit will get the message across in whatever way they see fit. So I hope that this reading helped you. I'm sending you so much love and blessings and healing energy to help you to address this wound so you can really embrace this new cycle and start over in a really fresh, clean way that feels very healing for you. I love you guys. Thank you for being here on the channel. If you enjoyed the reading, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We also have memberships available on the channel, so you can hit the join button right next to the subscribe button and you'll see the 2 tiers that are available to you. If you don't see the join button there, you might have to go through a desktop computer, because on the app or on phones, sometimes it just doesn't show up. But yeah, there's ad-free pick a card readings that I do once a week for the members, as well as monthly live streams where members get to ask personal questions and get personal readings from me. So if you guys are interested, hit that join button. And if not, you can also check out my other offerings, services, classes, and courses on my website. It's tarotandbeyond.com, which is linked in the description box below. I love you guys again. We'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group 2. Welcome to your reading. You guys chose the tic-tac-toe with the hearts. I love that. So it's like you've won and the hearts are all lining up for you. So I'm interested to see what the message is for you here today from Spirit. The reading topic, obviously, as you know, is there's still time. So we're going to find out what there is here that is still right on time for you. Actually, that card wants to come out. 5 of Cups. Okay, right away they showed me that tic-tac-toe again. It was like the hearts making that line. So I feel like love is the heart of the matter here, pun intended. Love is the heart of the matter, and I think that there may have been times where you felt like love was a game and you were losing. But they want you to know that there's still time, and it's okay to be feeling kind of put out by love or disappointed by love right now, but I'm seeing things changing direction for you. Okay, we have the 10 of Wands. So this has been something that maybe has felt really heavy for you, like you haven't been able to see your way forward in terms of how are you going to make progress here? How can you win at the game of love? Or when is it going to start working out for you? It feels like you've got a lot of like baggage, group number 2, not going to lie. Just the 10 of Wands really does speak of that. You know, it's like he's carrying all of this heavy stuff. And this could be like this relationship that didn't work out, this relationship that didn't work out, this relationship that didn't work out, you know? And I feel like you've got some baggage, and that's okay. That's not like, please don't take that personally. We all have baggage. It's just part of being human. That's life, you know, that's just life. And I feel like that baggage, though, has been a heavy burden for you to carry. And what you're doing now is manifesting a new way forward with the Magician card. So you're manifesting a way out, is what they just told me, a way out of those repeating disappointments in the arena of love. They also did just give me the phrase, the game of life. Oh, and that's an actual board game, the game of life. And I remember playing that as a kid. You know, you have that little car, and then you have those little people, and there's like a little woman and a little man, and you put them together, and then you like go through the game of life. And it's like you buy a house, or you like start a family, and it's like it's this idea of like the what do you call that? The nuclear family. Thank you, Spirit. It's like the idea of, okay, I can have a healthy relationship with a wife or husband or whomever, have kids, get married, have kids, you know, have a good job, good house. It's like the quintessential things that we're kind of programmed to want in society. And I think for some people, those are really good things that they do really want, and they will benefit from at soul level. For other people, it might not be the case. But what I'm seeing for you, group number 2, is that Spirit wants you to know it's not too late to have that. If that's something you want, you can manifest it. You're the creator of your reality, is what they're saying here. And the only thing that's kind of been stopping you or been impeding your progress in this area or in this game of life is some of this baggage and this disappointment and this pain and this, they just give me the word suffering as well, that you've kind of had to, that you've been through, that you've experienced. You could have even have trauma. You could have trauma around past relationships too, group number 2. Just take that if it resonates. These are general readings, not personal readings. So if a message doesn't resonate, it just means it's for someone else. Queen of Swords, clarity of thought and intention is what I heard when I held it up. So clarity of thought and intention is going to get you really far here in terms of creating the reality that's going to bring you a lot of joy and happiness. But you kind of have to get clear on what can go in terms of these past thoughts, like not repeating the same things in your mind about the expectations around relationships failing, or the expectations of disappointments, or the expectations of all of this responsibility that you've kind of had to shoulder on your own. Seven of Pentacles, I feel like this has been a waiting game for you. And I do feel this sense of doubt around, like, can it even be possible? Maybe you've invested a lot of effort into relationships, manifesting aligned relationships in the past, and it just has not been something that bore fruit, you know? Like, you dug and you dug and you planted and you cultivated and you watered and you pruned and you did all these things, and then the whole crop died. And you were like, what the hell am I doing wrong? Or like, what's going on here with the universe? Why does this suck so bad? And Spirit is like, there's still time. Some of those seeds were not rotten, but some of them were rotten. If you put a lot of time and energy into a rotten seed, it's not going to bear you any fruit. But there's seeds in the ground that you have planted. It's what they're showing me, that you've planted a long time ago, that just needed the right environment to grow. This doesn't necessarily mean that there's someone from the past that's going to come back. That's not what I mean. It's like, these seeds are more like your intention, your pure intention to manifest a life that feels aligned for you, whether it involves love or not. But it's a life that feels in alignment with what it is that you desire, what it is that you want to create. And I see that you have planted some good seeds there. They just needed the right environment to be able to start growing, and you weren't necessarily in that right environment. You needed a different ecosystem to put those seeds into for them to be able to thrive. And I feel like you're kind of bridging into that right now, group number 2. 9 of Swords. These two cards did come up in group number 1. So I feel like there's kind of a connection between those two groups. In group 1, we were talking a lot about, there was like a past life thing that was coming up to be healed. That could be related to this as well. That could be one of those sticks. Like, the baggage doesn't always have to be from this lifetime. Sometimes it's multiple lifetimes that kind of carries over. But I can see a lot of worry here, group number 2. I can see a lot of worry and stress over trying to get the results that you want, or trying to make a life that feels good for you, but kind of feeling like you're struggling or like you're failing at that. But I want to assure you that you're not. And Spirit has called you to this reading today to let you know that there is still time to do this, and that it's already kind of percolating under the surface. But there's a few things that you need to do first, and this is what they want to say. First of all, Page of Pentacles, like, he's there with the seed again. It's like seeing the seeds that you do want to plant and becoming very clear on those is what they're telling me. Yeah, I'm gonna put this over here. So what does that mean? Well, I mean, again, it's like clarity of thought and intention. And I think getting rid of those past experiences and the identification with them, like seeing them as a core part of who you are rather than just things that happened in your life. I think having that perspective shift is going to help you to become more balanced in yourself. Yeah, I just got a pitch change in my right ear. That's a major confirmation from Spirit. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting that like ee noise in my ear. So this is going to help you to shift frequencies, because that's what that is. It's frequency communication from Spirit. And there are also activation codes when you're getting those. It's like upgrades to your system. So energetically, you're upgrading and you're shifting, group number 2, and that's going to help you get better results in life, because the symbol that you chose, that little tic-tac-toe, you won. Your hearts, you won. Okay, so you're going to win at life, even though it's not a competition. You're not trying to beat out anyone else. You winning is you feeling satisfied and feeling fulfilled and feeling stable in what you've created. And I think that having the awareness of what you don't want to carry with you anymore and what doesn't and didn't work, and instead of identifying and having attachment to those things, I think just kind of being aware of them and then being able to move forward, cutting out the past, it's like leaving some of that baggage behind in a good way, is going to reduce some of that stress, and you're going to be able to have that environment that's going to be able to grow those good seeds that you want. But the Hermit card here, talking about going it alone for a time. Now, the reason for that is because it gives you the capacity to really introspect and reflect on what you want, what you don't want, what you've been through that was an example of what you don't want, maybe even what you've been through that's an example of what you do want. So in the positive sense, sometimes the Five of Cups can be about like ruminating on the past and getting stuck in the past and the grief and the sadness of it and the despair. And then that really can sap your hope and keep you stuck. You don't want that. The Hermit here is kind of like giving us clarity on how you're meant to be using this time of aloneness or reflecting on the past, even if you're not alone. But it will help you if you can just introspect on it from the perspective of what didn't work and what you don't want. It's like use process of elimination, because that's what's going to help you to get really, really clear on what you do want, and that's what's going to help it come in. Two of Swords, you've got some decisions to make, though. There's some, again, more reflecting that needs to be done, like a pros and cons list. Being able to see very analytically what didn't work in the past, I think, is going to divest you a little bit from some of the emotional attachment to it and give you a clearer perspective on what you want to do going forward. And I meant to say going forward, but it almost came out growing forward. So yes, I see a lot of growth in your future, group number 2. And the seeds that were dormant for a long time are going to start developing, because you are entering into a frequency of embodiment that is going to be the right ecosystem and environment for those seeds to grow. So the intention is the seed, right? So if the intention is to live a happy, fulfilled life with people you love around you and a stable home and all these different things, that is what is going to grow. But right now, they're like, just focus on becoming clear on what didn't work and why it didn't work, so that those things don't get carried with you into your new relationships or your new life plan or your new direction that you're going or what you're trying to manifest. Okay, I feel those 2 cards. Bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. I love that for you, because this is the Divine Feminine. I did see the Emperor in here before as well. I wanted to mention that. That's the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. That's like the mother-father archetype. So when we're looking at the game of life, those were like the 2 people who are in the car. Empress is also about growth and manifesting what it is you desire. Everything you need will be there for you if you can kind of just do a little bit of this analyzing and releasing. King of Cups. I just heard emotional fulfillment with that card, and Temperance. So creating some balance here, again, with the 2 of Swords, like being able to analyze this very logically and see beyond just, the experience of it. That's going to help you balance this out. I also see a lot of trial and error. Like everything you've been doing has not been for nothing, okay? Group number 2, there's still time for you to succeed at whatever it is that you want for your life. And all of the things that you quote unquote failed at are not failures. They're actually just examples of what doesn't work, which gets you closer to what does. Failure is the path to success. Okay, for you guys, we're going to go into this deck next. Challenges and achievements, the Mountain. Yeah, this may have felt, or may even feel right now, like it's a mountain that it's impossible to climb. It's like Everest, and you've never done anything like that before. But they're saying it's possible, and to set your sights higher. They just said, set your sights higher, group number 2. If you feel like you're not worthy of this really lush, abundant life where all your needs are met emotionally, mentally, physically, interpersonally, all of that, even financially, they want you to know that it is possible, and the examples of and experiences you've had in the past are not indicative of what is available to you or what is possible to you. You were in the wrong environment and you had the wrong seeds. That's not your fault, okay? But what you do have control over now, that maybe you didn't have control over then, is your awareness of this. Being able to discern what is worth investing your time and energy into and what's not. And a bad seed is not worth your investment. So being able to analyze and scrutinize these seeds, he's like looking at this, he's spending his time really, really analyzing this one coin, this one seed. Like, is this a good seed? Is this not a good seed? And use all of your wisdom from your experience to be able to assess that. And I think you're going to get really good results, like better results than you think, is what Spirit just said. You're going to get better results than you ever thought was possible, group number 2. Stability and security with the Anchor. So all of the challenges that you've had may have been around stability and security. Maybe it was financial stability. Maybe it was stability and security within love and relationships. Even in your family home, it could trace all the way back there too. Because I know that relationship issues can stem from relationship issues in our primary caregivers, what they modeled or how they treated us, but not always, right? Sometimes we can have the most loving, stable, secure home and still get ourselves into these relationships with people who are not right for us or who don't treat us with respect. You know, anything's possible here in life, but I'm really seeing that anything you have experienced that did not work is going to be for your benefit. And it's not to say that those things were worth it, because Lord knows going through anything traumatic or painful it's hard to justify it. But from this perspective, it's contributing to that discernment, okay? So it helps you to see what doesn't work, and through that you can refine, like I said, the direction of your intention to manifest what does work. Ooh, we got the rabbit, pregnancy, and fears. We're talking a lot about seeds here. This could literally be like seeds, you know? Yeah, they just gave me the word ovum. What is that? I think that's something to do with like ovaries or something. Anyway, there could be fears around, like, say, for example, getting married, having kids, getting pregnant, like that kind of thing. And if group number 1 resonated with you, if you watched that, or if you feel called to watch it, that may be what happened in that past life that was coming up there. Maybe like the death of a child, which I did mention in group 1, and that could be leading to karmically fearing having kids in this lifetime because of that emotional wound or the toll that it took in the previous lifetime. These things carry over. I've seen it all the time. I did Akashic readings for years for hundreds of clients, and I saw so many patterns from the past repeating in present life. Like, and I don't know this person. I don't know this person who I'm talking to. All I know is what I saw in the Akashic record, and I present it to them point blank without ever talking to them. And then they go, holy shit, this is exactly what I've been experiencing in this lifetime. And I'm like, well, yeah, because that's how karma works. So the great thing about that is that if we can identify and understand it, we don't have to repeat it. That's what I'm seeing here for you, group number 2, is that you understanding this pattern, analyzing it, breaking it down, really, really getting it, like you're absorbing the information from it and being like, okay, I know what didn't work. Now I'm going to use my discernment and my little bit of adjustment here to recalibrate things and see if I can get a different mixture. That's why temperance is pouring this water between the 2 cups. It's like finding the right mixture. And sometimes it's a little too much of this and a little too much of that, or a little too little of this. And it results in something that's undrinkable, unpalatable. But I'm seeing you really, you've gone a long way on this journey, been walking this path, and there is a sunrise. There is a happily ever after at the end of it, but you've just kind of got to figure out the right equation, the right mixture. And that's what's going to let things grow here. The right seed, the right soil, the right care, it's going to flourish and bloom. They just drew me to the flowers in this card as well. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of growth in your future. And if this is physical growth, like quite literally getting pregnant, there is still time, group number 2. And maybe it's not like traditionally getting pregnant. If you're let's say if you have fertility issues, or you don't want to pass down your genome, because not everybody does, or maybe you think you're too old or something like that. Well, this could be a different option for you. If you want to have kids still, you could adopt, or you could do in vitro, or something like that. You know, these are just random examples. It doesn't have to be literally that, but it's like you're able to grow something, whether it's a human life, or it's a relationship that's long lasting and stable, or it's security for yourself financially. Like, any of these topics are things that you can manifest when you let go of that past that really weighed you down and felt like it was gunking up the works. You know, it's hard to move forward when we're carrying all our baggage from the past. It's heavy. It's heavy. So I think that going through that baggage and deciding what's worth keeping and what's not is going to help lighten your load, and it's going to help you move forward. Yeah. All right. No, that's it. They said that was it. So that's the message for you, group number 2. It's not too late to create the life that you desire, whatever that happens to look like. And it might be that traditional nuclear family. It might be something completely different or the opposite. You know your situation. You know your needs and desires. So really the key takeaway here is just to address very analytically things from the past that you don't need to carry with you anymore, and use those as examples of what you want to create instead. And then use that discernment to be able to manifest that stability and security you desire, because you can achieve it. Set your mind to it and you can achieve it, okay? So I'm sending you so much love and blessings for the highest ideal aligned manifestations to come through you into your life and to see your true power and worth as a divine being and creator. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I hope the reading helped. If you enjoyed the reading, don't forget to hit the like button. Let me know. It makes me smile every time I see those likes. And stick around, subscribe to the channel. Lots more readings to come. We also have memberships available here on the channel. You can hit the join button, which should be right there next to the subscribe button. If you don't see it, you just kind of have to go through a computer instead of a phone. And you can become a member. And the members get ad-free weekly pick-a-card readings and monthly live streams with me where members get to ask personal questions. So if you guys are interested, join now. And I also have classes, courses, and mentorship available through my website. It's tarotandbeyond.com, which is linked in the description box below. I love you guys, and we will see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group 3, welcome to your reading. You guys chose the horse, this white horse galloping off into the distance or off into the sunset. I don't know why I'm just getting that vibe from this horse. It feels like freedom. It feels like something tangible in your life that you are moving really quickly towards. So there could be something that you have in terms of a goal or a direction that you've recently implemented some powerful new action steps towards. And I'm seeing that this is going to lead you to freedom. Okay, so that's a lot of information just coming from your symbol, even right off the bat. I didn't even like intend to tune in, but it all just kind of came through. So let's run with it, literally, because you chose the horse that's running. So let's run with it. Let's find out some information here for you, group number 3, on what there is still time. Again, it's like this goal that you're moving towards. I think you're moving a lot faster than you think you are, group number 3. There's definitely still time because you got the horsepower. You got the manpower. 5 of Swords. Okay, that was out of left field. 5 of Swords. Let's get context. King of Cups. Knight of Swords. What's really standing out to me from these 3 cards right away is the gray. Gray, gray, gray. And to me, gray can feel like lackluster. It's the energy of confusion, cloudiness, emotional apathy, feeling stuck, feeling sort of trapped. But the good news is that you have the Knight of Swords, which is, again, one of the fastest moving energies in the deck. And you guys chose that horse. So it does feel like you're moving really quickly. But you might feel like you're not. You might feel like you're sort of stranded on an island, left behind. You may have felt betrayed because what they just showed me was this little guy in the background, and he's like kind of going off with his head held in his hands, and he feels like he just got bested or betrayed or something by this guy. And then they showed me the King of Cups here on his little cube of concrete in the middle of the water, and this little ship in the background. And they showed me the scene from Pirates of the Caribbean where they maroon Jack on the island. They mutiny against him and maroon him on the island. So I feel like there was some kind of a mutiny that you experienced in some way, shape, or form where you may have felt emotionally betrayed by people that you trusted. And it may have come through to you in communication from somebody else. Like you found out through the grapevine that somebody did something or said something. Or it could have been that somebody just really wasn't able to show up for you and support you in the way that you hoped that they would. Or maybe that somebody literally abandoned you, because that's the image that they were showing me of Jack on the island. And that was the reference I gave. So I feel like there was something here that you felt like it couldn't be yours. Like everything that you wanted just sailed away without you. But I'm seeing that you're moving towards something else now. And the time is right. It just feels like the time is right. You got the King of Swords. Look at that. You have two kings here. More gray clouds, okay? But I think that the King of Swords is going to help you here to break through some of that. I just heard the word monotony. Monotony. Monotony is like, something that's mundane and boring, and it's like too routine. You kind of feel trapped in the system, like you're stuck on an island with nothing to do. But I feel like you're going to be getting some clarity on how you want to move forward. Or you've recently, because in the beginning, the message that was coming through, right, was that you've recently done something or taken an action that has put you on path towards this goal, and you're moving quickly towards it. So I do still feel like that is the thing. The Hanged Man, this is again more gray. Look at the gray in this card. And the Hanged Man is also about monotony and being stuck and feeling trapped and like just hanging there like he can't do anything. So time is kind of wibbly wobbly, right? And when I'm doing readings, I'm feeling energy, not necessarily the actual thing that's happening now. So when I'm saying I'm seeing this horse and I'm seeing you having taken an action and moving forward, this could even be in the future. This could be future energy that I'm feeling and tapping into, and you may be stuck right now. But I'm seeing you getting very clear on your power, like power structures. They just gave me that phrase, power structures, to absolve yourself from these past mutinies or betrayals or abandonments that kind of left you worse for wear. Like maybe you had a partner who you were working with in business and they stabbed you in the back and left you high and dry. Or maybe you had a relationship situation where you thought it was going to go the long haul. You invested all this time and energy, and then it turned out to be, a dud. Or maybe this is just you in your life not having a good time because you don't necessarily feel like you have a sense of direction or confidence in your ability to pursue something that, even if you do have a sense of direction around it, maybe you feel like you don't have the necessary tools or resources to be able to make that happen. Or there's something else that's kind of outside your control that's keeping you stuck in this position of monotony and routine that feels counterintuitive or counterproductive to your goal. But I'm seeing you taking some kind of like really fast, really directed, willful action that puts you on path. It could be something creative. Yeah, I did just hear nurture creativity. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is actually that's my card of the day today. I always pull a card every day for myself, and I work with that energy for the day, or I allow it to teach me what it wants to teach me. The Queen of Wands here is about nurturing growth. You have 3 court cards here. These are people. They can be aspects of yourself, but these are people. And you've got the 5 of Swords, which is there's 3 people in this as well. So which one are you? Group number 1 or group number 3. And who can you trust and who can you not trust? Who can you communicate clearly to and who should you not? I'm getting discernment from this Queen of Wands. Like she's saying to really trust your intuition when it comes to working with people, when it comes to sharing or divulging your plans or ideas. Okay, they were showing me like a corporate structure or environment, and then they showed me Working Girl. If you guys have ever seen The Working Girl, it's a classic like 80s movie, is this really ambitious woman who like theoretically should not have gotten to the level of job that she was in, but she kind of like bypassed the system because she didn't have the prerequisites, but she had the knowledge and the drive and the audacity to just go after it because she was actually really talented and good at what she does in business. But in her attempt to get ahead, she trusted the wrong person and you know, Susan Sarandon's character takes advantage of that. She takes the information and wants to make it her own. So it's kind of like being careful who you trust or who you provide information to, because this discernment is going to either hinder or help your growth in business or in whatever the situation is. But it feels like you have an ambition here, you have a goal in mind, you have a project that you're very passionate about, or you have an idea. And it could be a creative endeavor or a work thing or both. But I'm feeling like there's been something that maybe people have been talking you out of it, or like I said, maybe you had invested in the wrong people and then it fell through. Something like that, leaving you in this position where you feel like you can't move forward. But the Queen of Wands is like, no, the power's in your hands. You can do this. You can do this. Yeah, you can do this. 8 of Pentacles. This is like, you can do this. You can get down to work. You can get down to brass tacks, I just heard, and put in the effort to create this thing. And I think in this case, you can kind of do it on your own, group number 3. Page of Wands. There's probably some exploration and some work to do here. There's opportunities for information to come through. But I think that in this particular case, you work best alone. And so it's not to say that you can't trust other people. I think that the discernment will be your number one sort of tool here, or resource, to be able to make some progress. But I'm seeing that right now is probably a good time for you to just focus on your own ideas, your own direction, and your own work ethic. The Phoenix. Ooh. I'm going to put this over here. It feels like you're rising from the ashes, like somebody burned you to the ground, or somebody burned you in general. Like that's the idea of like mutiny or being betrayed. It's like you got burned. But you're not letting that stop you, if that's been the case. You're not letting that stop you. You're going after what you want anyway. You're making a way forward. That is very clear here. Oh yeah, okay. This one. Oh, there's 2 here. Okay. They said that one too. The Spider. Okay, the first thing I got from it was like, again, it was like a trap. There's people who have gotten you into mind traps about what you could or couldn't do, or maybe you're in a mind trap just even on your own, feeling like you can't move forward, feeling like you're trapped like a fly. Like I was getting that energy of being trapped, and that gray energy of like, ugh, there's nothing I can do, so I'll just stay here. Maybe you're trapped in a dead-end job. You've tried to get out of it before and it fell through, something like that. But the second thing that came from the Spider was creativity. It's like being able to weave your own web and create a structure that can feed you with your resources. So this feels like a very business-oriented reading, group number 3. It feels very much like it's like you creating your own project or your own business or your own idea and following through with that and really refining that on your own, so that once it's finished, nobody can really take that away from you. They can't steal your ideas. They can't sabotage it. They can't talk you out of it. They can't keep you stuck if you just go ahead and do it. You know, it's better to ask for forgiveness than for permission sometimes. The Turtle. Sea Turtle. And Seahorse. It's funny that I clarified that with Sea Turtle, and then we have Seahorse. Okay. I can see you switching roles, group number 3. I don't know if this is within your job or whatever it is you're doing, but the Seahorse is like the gender roles are very amorphous, like they switch, you know? So there's something about like switching roles, and I was getting that from Sea Turtle as well. They're born on land, on the beach, and then they crawl to the water. So there's something about like switching your environment, or maybe even like, yeah, traveling, like physically traveling and switching your environment could be something, one of these actions that you're called to take to switch up the business, to change the dynamic, to change the energy, working with different people, or again, maybe by yourself, but in a different location, or working in a different way, taking on a different nurturing role. I do get nurturing from the Queen of Wands, and the Seahorse here, it's like the masculine is the nurturer. The masculine takes care of the babies and actually like has the babies, you know? Not like a penguin, which takes on the role of nurturing when the mother goes away to get fish, but it's like the seahorse, the male seahorse, is actually the one that carries the babies in itself. So it's kind of cool. But and we do have those two masculine energies here, and then the queen. So there's something about like changing the role or the energy dynamics between masculine and feminine, what your role as nurturer versus like provider is. Maybe you're playing both of those roles if you're like a single parent. Or if you're just kind of like, if you own your own business, again, you kind of have to play both of those roles, and you might need to shift between feminine sometimes, which is like being in the creative flow and getting really soft and also nurturing and taking care of yourself so that you don't burn out. And then the masculine side, which is like doing and implementing and taking action and getting organized and creating structures and, you know, those kinds of things that are all about the execution of it. So this is really interesting, group number 3. Like if you have an idea for something, if you have an idea, I really feel like this is going to take you very far, or you're going to move toward it really quickly. Frisia, this will all be worthwhile. It will be worthwhile, and it's not too late. This is the theme of the reading. It's not too late. And this will be all worthwhile. So whatever it is that you're working towards right now, you might not see a lot of progress, or you might feel stuck on it at the moment. You might feel like it's not moving forward, or things have become very mundane and monotonous, or you might even feel confused or lost or not sure what your role is right now. But they're saying it's going to be worthwhile, and everything you're going through right now is actually part of this process of rebirthing this thing, this idea, this project, this goal, and working toward it. Like you are working toward it. You're making progress, that's for sure. I feel that, group number 3. And I think you're moving faster than you think. Lilac, the future is sometimes lost in the wanderings of the past. You know, I'm not getting too much past energy here, interestingly, because in group 1 and 2, we were talking a lot about the past. But in this reading, I feel more direction towards the future. So I think that's an indication of kind of what they're saying here. It's like focus on the future. Don't focus on the past right now. Especially if the past held things like mutiny and abandonment and stuff like that. And I'm not laughing at that. I'm just like, you know, those things suck. So like, let's not focus on that, group 3. Focus on your goal. Keep your eye on the prize is what I just heard. Yeah, don't wander around aimlessly. Like choose the direction you're going, and then go full steam ahead. Maybe this period of stagnancy, if that has been the case, has really just been to kind of show you the direction, or maybe the switching of the roles that needed to take place. This just split on its own, so let me pull that out. Lotus, stand still for now and listen to your life. That's literally what I was just talking about. Maybe this moment of standstill, which is the Hanged Man energy, has been so that you could see things a little bit more clearly, so you could listen, so you could feel, so you could kind of get a lay of the land and decide which direction you wanted to go. Because if you didn't have that moment of stop and listen and feel, then you might have put all of this effort into a direction that would have resulted in something disappointing again or unfulfilling. So I feel like the Lotus was just confirming exactly what I was getting. That's the message I was trying to say, is that this is all part of the process. And that's why it's all worthwhile. The answers and truths are always within. Yes, they are. And I think that's why you needed a little bit of time to kind of get bored and maybe even burn yourself down so that you could be reborn into this new role or this new sense of self. Look for a sign. They said the answers are within, and they said look for a sign. So trust your intuition, group number 3, because I feel like you're going to get a lot of messages from your creative insights or inspirations that come through, especially when you're working or when you're doing nothing, right? It could be either or. They could come through when you're feeling kind of stuck, but if you just are willing to listen and embrace that moment instead of going into panic or resistance, I think you're going to see that sign, and it's going to hit you like a bolt of lightning where you get this idea, this inspiration comes in, and you want to implement it really quickly, and you will. But I keep seeing this energy. They showed me the sea turtle again going from sand to water, so you might have to change your element or your approach or the structure of how you're doing what you're doing, because I think this idea is going to necessitate a little bit of an adaptation. Yeah, and they just gave me the phrase workflow. So your workflow is going to have to change in some way. But it will benefit you if you believe. Yeah, I think that you've got to believe in yourself here, because that's what's going to get you from point A to point, I was going to say B, but they actually showed me the letter Z. So it's going to get you from point A to point Z. Like the full gambit. You're going to be able to run that quicker than you think, because the force of will that I'm seeing you have after this period of stagnation, it's kind of like it charged up, and then you launch forward. You know, like those wind-up toys, you wind it up for a long period of time, and it's like kind of boring, and you're like, oh, okay, like, is it almost done? And then it's done, and you put it down, and it's like, you know? So I feel like you guys are going to do that. Or you're doing that right now. Yeah. All right. Group number 3, that's the reading. That's the message Spirit wanted you to know. It's not too late for you to succeed in this new direction or new goal, or maybe you don't have the idea yet, but it's coming. It's not too late. It's all in divine timing. And this, everything you've been through up until this point, is part of the contributing energy to this new direction, this new goal, this new project, and the success you're going to experience from that. Because I feel like you've really mastered some top tier stuff, and anything that was a failure in the past or didn't work out was so that you could rebirth yourself as an even better version of you. You're Captain Jack Sparrow. You always come back strong, group number 3. So take that horse by the reins and get you going. You got the horsepower, all right? So that's what I have for you today, group number 3. Thank you so much for being here in the reading. I hope that it was helpful in some way. Let me know how it resonates in the comments below if you feel called. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Stick around. We've got lots more pick a card readings to come. And if you want to become a member, you get additional benefits there. So if you hit the join button, you can see the 2 tiers that are available with different options, but there's like ad-free pick a card readings, weekly guidance, monthly live streams where I pull cards for members and do personal readings in that way, and so much more. So if you guys are interested, check that out. And I also have courses, classes, and mentorship available through my website, which is linked in the description box below. It's tarotandbeyond.com. I love you guys, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.